Hey, it's Patti Scharf, CPA and co-founder of Catching Clouds, a leader in e-commerce accounting. Welcome back to another Saturday Slowdown, where I like to remind everybody to work on their business and not just in their business. All right, today I want to talk about Etsy because about a week ago, like last Friday, I think, February 15th, Etsy kind of made a little boo-boo and they accidentally took out a bunch of money from various people's accounts for no apparent reason. It was apparently some kind of billing error or something like that. And they went, oops, and then they got the money back into the accounts as quickly as possible. But because Monday was a holiday, it took until Tuesday for everything to get refunded to everybody. And luckily, this only affected a few companies. Well, actually, I don't know how many. I know based on the article that I will share with you down below that it was that Etsy sellers were affected on a limited basis. And thankfully, none of our clients were affected. And I talked to a couple other people in the industry. Their clients weren't affected either. So hopefully the impact was pretty small. But I think it raises some important questions about cash flow and just the importance of making sure that you have what you need and that you're protecting yourself from this type of harm, right? So, you know, I know mistakes happen, and you know, Etsy, they recognized the error. They notified people about it as soon as they could, and they fixed it as quickly as they could. And luckily, it was limited to just one business day, but that didn't stop like so many people from getting overdraft payments. I mean, suddenly money comes out of your account, you're not expecting it. What do you think is going to happen? Checks are going to clear or not clear, as the case may be. You know, it's going to have other ramifications. So obviously this is a huge issue. But even though this didn't happen to any of our clients, there were a few things that have happened in the past that we've seen that I want to bring to your attention just so that everybody's kind of aware of it. And at the end, I want to talk about maybe some things that you can do to kind of mitigate some of these problems. So the first one that came to mind is, because we see this all the time, if you're selling on Amazon or Shopify or something like that, they're charging you this like monthly hosting fee. It might be $39.99 a month, $79.99 a month, something like that. Most people, they'll put it on a credit card and then just kind of set it and forget it. But what can happen is, let's say you change your credit card, maybe there was some fraud activity on it, something like that. Your credit card company sends you a new card and you forget to update the card on file. Here's what happens. Shopify doesn't just go, oh, $39.99. I see you've got a $100,000 payout coming. I'll just take the 40 bucks out of that. No, they don't do that. They will actually stop your account and put your payouts on hold. So you can keep selling, but you just don't get any of the money until you pay your $39.99 fee to reinstate your hosting. So that's kind of a big deal. And I want to warn people about that, just to keep an eagle eye out for their accounts to make sure that that money doesn't get held when you're expecting to use it for cash flow and things like that. Here's something else that has happened to one of our clients. So you know how sales tax is this huge issue with e-commerce sellers? If you don't know, please go check out my video because you need to know about this if you're selling online. But in any case, so now a bunch of people, they're starting to become compliant. They're starting to file in a bunch of different states, things like that. Well, as your sales volume goes up, you may switch from maybe being an annual filer to a quarterly filer, or from quarterly to monthly. You need to pay close attention to when you're crossing those thresholds, because what happened with one of our clients is they switched from, they passed the threshold in Texas. So they went from quarterly to monthly. And Texas will send out one kind of half-hearted attempt to notify you. And then if they don't get their monthly return, then they will just contact your bank, whatever bank you have on file with them, and they will put a hold on your account. So in our case, one of our clients, they had a huge chunk of money that was just like held, like the whole bank account was put on hold. So all their other sales tax payments also got held because they couldn't go through because the bank account was on hold. And it caused this huge rippling effect of problems. Now, of course, when they brought it to our attention, because we don't get the notices, our client gets the notices. When they brought it to our attention, or when we noticed it, like the bank account just stopping in midstream, because we check in every day, we worked immediately to go rectify that situation and get their funds going again. But it still took like a whole week, and the bank said it would take 7 to 12 business days. So that is a long time for an e-commerce seller to go without access to their funds. So I just want you guys to be aware that things like this, it happens all the time in e-commerce. When you're connected to so many different accounts and stuff, you just don't know what's going to happen. So you need to pay close attention to what's going on with your bank accounts. You should be checking things out all the time. A couple other tips though. So I told you I would have some tips. One thing that we do for our business is, like, we have a separate account just for payroll. And anybody who's doing Profit First, this will sound familiar. We have an account just for payroll. So anything that's related to payroll runs through that account. So if anything happens with our operating account, payroll still goes through. And if there's any kind of fraud on our account or something, we have like segregated funds for separate purposes, so that if anything happens, it limits our exposure. Now, one thing I would caution you on is you also don't want to have too little money in any of the accounts that have like shopping carts attached, because if they're trying to run refunds through there and they don't have enough money to process a return or something like that, they're going to start going, oh, you guys aren't reliable, and they might shut down your whole channel. So just have enough money there, but but try and keep stuff segregated a little bit if you can. So those are my thoughts on that for today. If you have any horror stories or anything that you want to share, please leave those down below in the comments. We'd love to hear what you have to say. It'll maybe help some other people from falling into some of the same traps you have. And I think that's it. So I hope you like this video. If you did, please like, comment, and share. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Today I am at Lake Pukakaki. So I just want you guys to be aware. Hey guys, this is Lake Pukaki, and right there is Mount Cook. Not a bad place to go today.